Thank you so much for false banning me on Twitch. You know why? Because I've gone and done some research since which horrifies the living hell out of me about Twitch and what happens on that platform. You've done me a humongous service. I was just a gamer prior to this. Got on, did some streaming, never really did any research about the platform. It was Twitch, everyone was on it, and I really was quite oblivious to the truth of what happens on this platform. I'm horrified, I'm disgusted, and I feel sick in the stomach. Physically ill from what I just found out and I've done the research on. In this video, it's a two-part video. The first part is obviously the uncovering of this horrific side of what Twitch really is and how children are being funneled into it by Twitch itself. And that in itself is a disgusting, abhorrent thing to happen. How government has not shut down Twitch already is beyond my comprehension, and I have a very large comprehension for things. 45-year-old man, and I don't even check this stuff out, let alone get funneled through as a child on Twitch too. The second part is to explain why Twitch is dying, why the whole viewership has fallen off since mid-2023 to now, and why Twitch probably won't be around much longer in reality. Now, I've proved everything else on this channel between Star Citizen, FPS games, Valorant, time and again. I make these predictions ahead of time and they always come true. Just look at my channel's history. 4 months, 6 months, 8 months ahead of time. 2 years in some respects with the Star Citizen dynamic server meshing discussion. And yes, I'm going to be doing another video on Star Citizen shortly. Hence why I've taken the channel back to its original branding, so we can discuss the static server meshing that they've managed to achieve. PlanetSide 2 already has that and has had that for what, 13 years? It's nothing new. It's just that these guys at CIG think that they know something that no one else does. No, that's just sleight of hand. That's just to confuse an already educated audience into the technology already that I have exceptionally fleshed out already on my channel, and that has got raving reviews, a crap ton of apologies over time because people then woke up and went, oh, CIG actually admitted that 2 years ago at their CitizenCon. Today's video is about the horrors, the shocking, dark, sick truth about what Twitch truly is, and why kids are so messed up on that platform, so dystopian, so nihilistic, so narcissistic, psychopathic, and sociopathic. It explains it all to me now, something I maybe should have actually done 5 years ago when I first started streaming on Twitch. Done that research and found out more about that information, but these videos weren't around then. They've only cropped up in the last 6 to 8 months. So I remiss myself for not having done my own personal research into the platform and do what I usually do by researching, learning, finding out about exactly what I'm getting myself into. On this occasion, I didn't. And I am sick to the stomach, absolutely sick, feeling physically ill from what I just found out. Now that's going to be in video format moving forward, made by another creator, someone of your generation, kids. Yeah? Then we're moving on to the second part of the video where things get real. Twitch is dying, and the people on it are deranged, sick, low brain operation, brain damaged psychos, and they're the streamers I'm talking about. The kids on the other hand, they're the worst of the worst of the worst that society has to offer. These kids come from broken homes, violent homes, very low socioeconomic homes. And these kids are hating and thrashing and screaming at the world and cheating computer games and breaking the internet because they think it's fun. There's nothing fun about doing the wrong thing. And I've already covered that in the previous video. Now, the previous video was a correction to your behavior. Now, that hit the mark very, very strongly. And it triggered a lot of different people from different games that they cheat in across the industry, as was intention for my video in the first place. Now, we had the usual most mentally unstable few come in from the Twitch community, and they got dealt with very decisively in the comments section. Now, if they are to repeat their behavior in this video, they'll simply just have their comments deleted and reported. I'm not going to tolerate it anymore. I've left Twitch. Even if I do get my account back, I put my appeal in, I haven't got anything back yet, but I don't care. After what I found out, I don't want to go back to Twitch even. I will actually close my account down, not a joke, if I get it back anyway. I have moved over to Kick, and at least Kick's transparent about what they do there. It's gambling, it's hot tub, it's gaming, it's chat, it's whatever. But it's an adult-focused streaming website, where Twitch is a child-centric one. And that's what separates the platforms very clearly. Black and white. One is for children, and children-centric, unfortunately not really in actual reality, and Kick is adult-focused. That's it. There's no ifs, buts, and maybes, maybe for kids too. No, it's adult-centric. And if you're a child coming over to Kick, you're in the wrong place. That's simple. You don't belong there. It's where the big boys play, not you little kiddies on Twitch and what you're about to find out. Guys, thank you so much for false banning me on Twitch, because I would have never otherwise done this research. I would have never tried to understand what's wrong with you kids and get into the deeper layers of your mental health states. And now I understand Twitch, your parents, society, everything is serving you a curveball. But I'm not the problem. I never was the problem. I'm just the one doing the right thing where you're doing the wrong thing. There's lots of other people on the internet calling you out for it as well. I'm not the only person on earth doing it. You just thought I was an easy target. And what you just learnt in the previous video in the comments section, that my intelligence far exceeds any of yours collectively, and I always will, because I was born smart. I was born into a good home, for the most part. Shit, father. But that made me stronger and more resilient and more willing to fight back against the wrong thing than you kids would ever understand or comprehend in your lives. I'm at a stage where I have success abound in my life. I'm qualified on paper. I'm experienced. I have wisdom. I have knowledge. I have drive and determination to achieve things in life. I'm about to start my own business, and which is going to be exceptionally lucrative. You think I'm going to be streaming on Twitch this whole time, or streaming on Kick this whole time, or streaming on YouTube this whole time? Making content about kids cheating computer games? No. This is just a time waster in between. This is me just getting my 2 bob in before I get out there with the real people and live in the real world again and start making massive bank and leave you kids behind. You have an opportunity to turn that around today, but you won't, because you're the majority that are going to fail. That's just how it is. Now, there are people in my community and coming to my community through different YouTube channels and streams and all kinds of other methods that are actually asking for advice, asking for support. They're the ones I help. And this is something I did in my classrooms, is I taught the people that wanted to be taught and didn't waste my energy on the ones that didn't. Guess what? The ones that wanted to be taught are now senior corporate executives, CEOs, managing directors, and the ones that didn't want to learn, they're still working at a takeaway shop with a bit of paper that they've had to pay thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars for. Did they get passed in my class? No. Did they have to do another semester, another semester, another semester for the same set of units? Yes. Did it cost them a shit ton of money? Yes. Did they get passed in my class? Nope. They had another teacher who was more willing to just push it under the rug. And that's the world you're in, kids. There are people that will do things properly, and there are people that will not do things properly. You are following that group of people on Twitch, the wrong people. Simple. I'm moving on to Kick. I'm completely leaving Twitch behind. I'm completely leaving your twisted, nihilistic community behind, and I am focusing on me and what makes me happy and things I like doing and fun I like to have. And that's it. You're not going to stop me. You're not going to stop anybody following their dreams. You're not going to stop anybody that wants to do the right thing, because they're going to do it with or without you in their lives.
You know, living with you, it hasn't been easy. People see me, but they think of you. Now with all this going on, this is going to be worse than ever.
It don't have to be.
No, sure it does.
Why? You got a lot going on, kid.
Oh, what, my last name? That's the reason I got a decent job. That's the reason why people deal with me in the first place. Now I start to get a little ahead. I start to get a little something for myself. And this happens. Now I'm asking you as a favor not to go through with this, okay? This is only gonna end up bad for you, and it's gonna end up bad for me.
You think I'm hurting you?
Yeah, in a way you are.
That's the last thing I ever wanted to do.
I know that's not what you want to do, but that's just the way that it is. Don't you care what people think? Doesn't it bother you that people are making you out to be a joke and that I'm gonna be included in that? Do you think that's right? Do you?
You ain't gonna believe this, but you used to fit right here. I'd hold you up and say to your mother, this kid's gonna be the best kid in the world. This kid's gonna be somebody better than anybody ever knew. And you grew up good and wonderful. It was great just watching you. Every day was like a privilege. Then the time come for you to be your own man and take on the world, and you did. But somewhere along the line, you changed. You stopped being you. You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame, like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that. I'm always gonna love you no matter what. No matter what happens. You're my son, you're my blood. You're the best thing in my life. But until you start believing in yourself, you ain't gonna have a life. Don't forget to visit your mother.
This is reality, children. This is reality, certain streamers on that platform. You are not going to stop good. You will never stop good. Because that's just the way of the universe. There's positives and negatives to everything, pros and cons. A battery has to have a positive and a negative terminal. The thing is, guys, is that people like me, you cannot stop. You cannot knock down. You cannot just stand over, because we get back up and we fight again and again and again until time's up. Guess what? That always ends in a victory for the good guys. That's just how the universe works, guys. Bad might win for a time, but good always prevails, because there needs to be balance in the world, balance in the universe, and balance in your life. And if you're unbalanced, you will eventually either head two ways. Right off the deep end, or you'll pull your metaphoric finger out of your backside and get on with it and get back into life and drop the toxic, nasty, spiteful, hateful, dark people that you associate with because you have a need for affirmation or attention seeking, or you've got no one else and you think these people are going through the same thing you are. They are not. They are feeding off you. They are feeding off your negative emotions. They are feeding off the little bit of good you've got in you. And they are burying that deep, 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 deep down. Stop being a sheep. Sheep get shorn and go to slaughter. Sheep do not run the world. Sheep get eaten by the world. And that's a metaphor and a synonym. Wake up, grow up, or just move on. You're not stopping me. You're never stopping me. It is never, ever going to end. I am going to do what I'm going to do, and I'm going to have fun doing it. And if you don't like it, tough. Because this year, 2024, CTT's back, baby. And if you look at any of my previous videos from back in the day, I didn't hold any punches. The gloves are off. You will just be erased from my community. You'll be erased from my social media, and you can try whatever you want. But from now on, the ball's in my court, and it's going to stay there. And when I do the final service and I ace you right in the forehead with proof, facts, and evidence and shut you down once and for all, the day will come eventually. You know, everything has to come to an end. That day will be the day that I sit back quietly, take a little smile on my face, and press the upload key. It's over for Twitch. It's over soon enough for all of you kids and your stupidity. Shit's going to get real soon. Big reset, the great reset, whatever you want to call it, 2030. You'll have nothing and you'll be happy. But you kids are not going to be happy at all. Good luck. Enjoy your cardboard box or your 4x4 cement accommodations in future. You're done. And you don't even know it yet. Anyway, welcome to the video.
The streaming platform Twitch has essentially doubled its average viewership since 2019. Unsurprisingly, the biggest spike in viewership was during the COVID lockdowns, and it also has coincided perfectly with what people are calling the male loneliness epidemic. But reality is, this is a major problem. So let me explain to you my complete disdain for streamers. The first problem is it is a cesspool of degeneracy. More recently, we've seen explosions of creators such as iShowSpeed, who you can watch a single clip of Speed and realize just from his sense of humor that it's a young audience. But you know what? Humor is subjective. Let's put that aside. Let's look at his most recent controversy.
Oh, Chica, I miss you. I'm about to Chica. Oh, shit. It's open you, baby.
What happened to you?
Oh my god.
Yes, this is when iShowSpeed turned into iShowed as he hip thrusted into the camera wearing nothing but his shorts or pajama pants or whatever, and his ding-a-ling came flopping around. And of course he did not mean for that to happen. Even for him, that's super low, and he also doesn't want to get banned from platforms. However, the fact that he stood up saying the explicit stuff he was saying whilst doing it gives you a pretty good insight on the type of creator this person is. Now let's take a look at Kai Cenat, who actually currently holds the record for the most Twitch subscribers ever. That is extremely impressive. He must be a good representation of the type of content streamers watch. So let's just give him a search on YouTube real quick. Literally the first two pieces of content that come up when I search his name are his viewers shutting down New York City. He forgot to put the word riot in the title. And the second video being Kai on a blind date with a literal adult star. And would you look at that, as soon as the video starts, it is twerking. And trust me, that is not a cherry-picked example. Most of Kai's content seems to be with adult content stars. And the more and more I do research on these top streamers, the more and more I see complete degeneracy encouraged to a young audience. And some may be thinking, okay, yeah, that's kind of bad, but it's not like it sends them straight to adult content, right? Right? It's funny you say that, because problem number two is that it is an exploitive funnel into adult content. So let's talk about e-girl culture. In the streaming space, there are a ton of traditionally pretty women who pander to nerd, video game, anime culture, and because of that, this audience attaches to them so much because these women come off as unique and rare, and oh, maybe I have a chance with them because I like video games and she likes video games. And then they attach to the female streamer. They watch all the streams, they subscribe to their fan sites, they buy their Amazon wish list, they donate hundreds and thousands of dollars, all for a girl who honestly doesn't even care if they're breathing. And before we go down this route, I do feel like I have to touch on the hot tub streamers. The hot tub and bikini categories, which, why is that even a category on a gaming streaming site, resemble pornography more and more every single day. And when I was doing research trying to find clips, I stumbled across this account called that just posts kind of lewd content of female streamers, and honestly, I've seen tamer thumbnails on websites. But you know what? That is obviously bad. That is obviously degenerate. That is obviously just softcore corn. But surely, you know, the big girl gamer streamers and whatnot, they're okay, right? A lot of them also just more covertly shuttle their audience to their Fansly or OF. Also, I just want to add, it sure is weird how all of these female streamers have these uh-ohs where they
Oh my
reveal a sex toy in their streams. It's really weird how that it just happens by accident, like a silly goose moment all the time. What a bunch of goofballs. Streaming, especially Twitch, has now become a direct funnel to these fan sites. For example, Ludwig, one of the most subscribed streamers who's made countless videos trashing Andrew Tate for his impression on young kids, sponsors his event with Fansly, an adult content subscription service. Ludwig's partner, Cutie Cinderella, also had her event, a huge event called the Streamer Awards, sponsored by Fansly as well.
That video was amazing. I want to say a huge thank you to our sponsor Fansly for sponsoring the Streamer Awards.
And even went as far as in one of her regular video game streams to air a Fansly ad to all of this young audience. Keep in mind, Twitch's youngest age is 14 years old.
A free trial of some of our hottest creators. On top of that, sign in using your Twitch account and see which of your favorite streamers are already creating adult content on Fansly.
And it gets even worse, because Twitch partnered with Fansly to allow you to log into the website via a Twitch account, meaning typically if you went to the site on its own, you had to be 18, but 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds were able to log into Fansly by using their Twitch account. XQC, who is also one of the biggest streamers, had his big game show event sponsored by Fansly. It is as equally hilarious and hypocritical that the very streamers who cheered when Twitch banned gambling, who condemned Aiden Ross for showing adult content on one of his streams, turn around and take money from and promote Fansly. I mean, clearly we are just dealing with class acts, these top streamers, you know? And as someone who struggled with a pornography addiction for 10 years of my life, it makes me sick to my stomach to see these creators shilling adult content and the addiction that follows onto these young kids that don't know any better. Which leads me to my next problem, is that I think they're just bad people. When I was initially planning out this video, I was thinking I was just gonna say, oh, well, you know, maybe behind the scenes they're good people, they just like money too much, or they have these problems, yada, yada, yada. And there are certainly exceptions. I've watched streamers in the past, and I think a lot of them are just perfectly fine people who just like video games, and hey, they get to make money playing video games. That's great. For a lot of these people that I was learning about when I did this research, no. I genuinely believe that they are bad people and terrible influences on the youth. They promote thirsting over women, they collaborate with adult content, they get sponsored by adult content, they condemn other creators and influencers and personalities for doing certain things, and then turn around and do very close variations of that.
These people who look up to Tate because he's strong and he gets women and he has a lot of money, they're going down, I think, a bad path.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised I made it this far without using Hassan as an example, who shills a socialist leftist ideology, lives in a mansion, wears $1,000 outfits, says he likes making money from monetization and running ads. We have XQC, who's recently run into quite a bit of controversy as people are starting to point out he literally just steals content and puts his face cam on it and re-uploads it on YouTube. And after being challenged and losing an argument to Ethan Klein on this topic, he replied with, oh, I got an expensive watch, I'm better than you. Honestly, this whole conglomeration of these top streamers remind me of a form of Hollywood. Because sure, there are some good actors and actresses here and there, but a lot of them are complete out-of-touch narcissists with overly inflated egos due to a following of idiots that worship them. But what if the problem isn't the overall degeneracy, the direct pipeline to adult content? What if it's the audience? If you take a look at any of these live streams, chats, it is a perfect example of a hive mind. These are extremely low consciousness individuals because you have the true you, right? If you've meditated, you've had glimpses of that, whatever, and you realize that you're not your thoughts, but sometimes you identify with your thoughts. And then beyond that is emotions. If you practice stoicism, you know you're not your emotions, but sometimes you may identify with them, but you're still a pretty well-rounded person. But the third layer beyond that is if you identify with group consciousness, meaning that you are so low consciousness, so susceptible, that you just kind of become one big entity with hundreds, thousands of other people. And that's what we see here, and it's just this big entity that worships whatever streamer is their favorite streamer, who watch award shows sponsored by adult websites where streamers congratulate each other on how many NPCs they gathered onto their stream. But I still believe a majority of these kids that watch these streamers did it because they were lonely, or because they didn't like playing video games by themselves or watching YouTube by themselves, and so they form this parasocial relationship with a streamer. They don't know any better, they don't fully grasp that the streamer just sees them as a number, and they just get stuck in this cycle of an addiction. Because the overall problem of all of this is an addiction to cheap dopamine. This cheap dopamine addiction is exactly why when sometimes I condemn video games and say you shouldn't play them too much, I get the people saying, you don't get it, I'm gonna become a famous streamer one day. Because you see these 0.001% of streamers who make bank doing essentially nothing all day. Aiden Ross signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Kick. XQC signed for $100 million with Kick. Amaranth, who literally just streams in a bikini, signed for $30 million with Kick. And they want to do that because that is the perfect cope to playing video games or watching YouTube for 10 hours a day. No, but I can make a career out of it. It's productive. But they don't understand that they are merely an addict to their video games, their porn, their streamers, their YouTube videos, and it's going to destroy their lives if they don't change. And if you'd like to raise your awareness on dopamine, I have a free 30-minute long dopamine guide in the description below. But honestly, who do we put the blame on here? The moralist, narcissist streamers, the platforms they stream on, the parents who let their kids watch the streams? Or is this just a byproduct of an overall problem in society promoting degeneracy, dopamine addictions, and overall laziness? While I made this video to help raise awareness and hopefully steer a lot of kids away from going down the streaming rabbit hole, the fact of the matter is, for you guys that are interested in self-development, especially the people who watch my content, that means less competition. And I don't want to sound Machiavellian about it. The whole purpose of my channel is to help men, especially young men. The fact of the matter is, most of them do not care, and they're not going to change. But for those of you who understand that when that live stream ends, and the streamer goes back to his millions of dollars, his Lamborghini, his mansions, his girls, the viewer leaves with nothing but a fried brain.
Not all of us are ever going to be the champion, but we can go the distance. We can put up a great fight. Nothing's braver than knowing you're going to lose. You're going to take a beating. You're done. But if you stood up to this class bully, you did something that no one else had the guts to do.
You want to leave some footprints, you know, on the canvas of life. And they don't have to be big ones. Everyone doesn't have to be a world champion. It's just the fact that you gave it your best. Because that's the Rocky philosophy. He never expected to be a champion. He just wanted to go the distance and have a little dignity. And that's pretty much the ongoing theme.
They come into you through millions of years of instinctual development, culturally, spiritually, and actual genetic development. They know how to push the maternal button. I don't give it how tough you are. We all need it. To be a great man, you need to be nurtured in the proper way, reinforced, pushed, validated, loved, and also reprimanded when you're not doing what you should do. God is a very, very strong element, a cohesive element. But there's always a but. You ever try praying to yourself? Put yourself in abeyance, not in the mirror, but go, okay, this is what I want. You can call it positive reinforcement. There's so many different terminologies for that, but actually look at you, request something. When you're in fear of something, I pray to you not to be afraid. I pray for you to be successful. I pray for you to have proper knowledge and sympathy for the planet in general. To you, not something other, which is great. But narrowing it down to you praying to you, I think is an interesting concept. Keep punching.
We're currently witnessing the death of the biggest streaming platform ever, Twitch. Over the span of 24 months, Twitch's average monthly viewership has dropped by roughly 30%, and it seems like it won't stop anytime soon. You see, Twitch has been implementing numerous greedy policies and banning their top streamers for dumb reasons, repeatedly showing us how out of touch they are with their community. And with new competition such as Kick and YouTube constantly enticing streamers with multi-million-dollar contracts to leave Twitch, it seems like their future position in the streaming industry is at stake. However, before we explore how their disregard for the community has led to their decline, we need to understand why exactly creators are leaving, and part of this is Twitch's terrible moderation. Twitch is arguably the most censoring platform, banning words such as simp, incel, and virgin, a move that many consider an overreach. Twitch is also known to be very comfortable handing out bans to their top streamers, often for reasons seemingly minor. Their #1 streamer XQC was handed a 7-day ban for stream sniping. Delor was banned for smashing a keyboard over his head, and Dr. Disrespect never even received an official reason. Twitch has proved time and time again that they won't hesitate to swing the ban hammer, regardless of your influence on the platform. A case in point is Aiden Ross, who dominated Twitch throughout 2021 and 2022. Aiden was potentially bringing in millions of dollars to the site. However, Aiden claimed that Twitch began censoring him from the platform as soon as he began embarking on his transformative journey to improve his lifestyle. Aiden was banned a total of 8 times before moving to another platform alternative. However, it doesn't just stop at Twitch banning creators for dumb reasons. Twitch also appears to play favorites, dealing uneven punishments to different creators. Take for instance Jadion, who received a permanent ban for encouraging his audience to spam L+ ratio on Pokimane stream, while Kamika faced a mere 7-day ban for engaging in sexually explicit activities in front of her viewers. The unequal treatment understandably raised concerns about potential sexism and favoritism within Twitch's moderation system, and since Jadion never got a second chance, unlike Kamika, it's not hard to understand why people have such opinions. In May of 2020, Twitch formed the Safety Advisory Council, who is advised to protect marginalized groups' interests and promote healthy streaming habits. However, when it came to light that one of the counselors was Steph Lower, a self-identified transgender deer with a history of making controversial statements, Twitch faced a wave of criticism. Steph had previously expressed that voice chat was somehow discriminatory against women and other minorities, and also believed the gaming community was infested with white supremacists.
I think a lot of you gamers are actually white supremacists. Sorry, just a fact of how I feel.
The controversy then escalated when she was seen acting like a deer on stream, leading some to question her mental stability.
In my spare time, I go out to my yard and I prance around and I eat grass. This makes me feel like in tune with my dear self.
However, the central issue here was that Steph appeared to wield her power, allegedly threatening to use her influence against those who dared to challenge Twitch's narrative.
I have power. They can't take it away from me. There are some people that should be afraid of me. And that they are.
A former employee of Twitch, Theo Rance, posted a video further explaining how Twitch terribly treats its creators and why he left Twitch.
Twitch doesn't care about creators. Twitch cares about looking like they care about creators. Everything Twitch has done for the last 4 years has been with the goal of feeling like they understand and care.
Theo claims that the head staff at Twitch lacks the consideration for their streamers, especially their smaller ones. You see, Twitch has arguably zero discoverability when it comes to finding new streamers. Twitch prioritizes showing the most popular streams, turning a blind eye to content quality. Therefore, if you only average 5 viewers, the likelihood of you landing on Twitch's front page is almost non-existent. This creates a seemingly insurmountable hurdle for new creators, who must focus on marketing themselves outside of Twitch to experience any growth. On the contrary, YouTube takes a much different approach. With its advanced search engine and algorithm, YouTube excels in helping people achieve growth faster. On top of this, the user experience on Twitch has also faced some criticism. Typically, you'll encounter 3-minute ad break for every hour, which is relatively standard across streaming platforms. But ever since Twitch introduced its ads incentive program in 2022, streamers have been encouraged to incorporate longer ad breaks of 8 to 10 minutes per hour. Although this approach may initially benefit the streamer's revenue, it will lead to a negative viewing experience. Lengthy ad breaks disrupt the flow of content. They may also lead to frustration, causing viewers to either leave the platform or watch another streamer, only to be hit with another wave of ads. Twitch's reliance on ad revenue is understandable. However, it raises eyebrows when this pursuit of profit appears to overshadow the financial well-being of its creators. This has prompted big creators like Mr. Beast to aim at the company. Hey Twitch, how about instead of handicapping what creators make, you help them make more? Seems more logical. Mr. Beast claims that rather than helping creators earn more money, Twitch constantly tries to limit their earnings. I mean, after all, Twitch still offers the worst revenue split out of all the major streaming platforms, taking an equal 50-50 share from the streamer's total earnings. In response to this critique, Twitch introduced a Partner Plus program as a corrective measure in June 2023, promising a more favorable 70-30 split, where out of 100% of total earnings, 70% goes toward the streamer and 30% goes to Twitch. But the benefit of this new scheme is only available to those capable of sustaining at least 350 subscribers for 3 consecutive months. And the problem here is that out of 7 million streamers on Twitch, only a measly 1,000 have met this steep requirement and remain stuck in a less profitable 50-50 bracket. And as if the challenge of making a livable income wasn't hard enough, Twitch announced that once the creator hits the $100,000 earnings mark, the platform reverts the split back to 50-50, further tightening the squeeze on its creators. Comparatively, platforms like YouTube, Kick, and Rumble offer much better terms. YouTube provides a 70-30 split for all creators, creators, Kick raises the stakes with a 95-5 division, and Rumble provides a full 100% revenue share to its creators. Twitch's greediness, however, doesn't end with unfavorable revenue splits, as they recently announced new restrictions on branded sponsorships that have been widely slammed as one of the worst changes ever made. The policy impacts sponsored and branded content, limiting logos and brand overlays to 3% of a streamer's screen size. The change also prohibits third-party audio ads and also inserted ads. The problem with this policy change is that a significant portion of a streamer's income stems from brand sponsorships, meaning that Twitch is once again capping their creators' earnings. The most likely motive behind this policy change is that Twitch doesn't get any money from streamers dealing with their own sponsorships. So, Twitch decided they would force their creators into using Twitch's own sponsorships by implementing restrictions on third parties, thereby maximizing company profits. Predictably, this heavy-handed approach backfired. With creators announcing their decisions to leave the platform for good, Twitch immediately backpedaled on this change. Twitch understandably needs the money to sustain its operations, as delivering high-definition, low-latency, always available live video to nearly every corner of the globe is expensive. However, it's hard to shake off the feeling that Twitch's primary concern is more than just sustaining its operations, it's merely to fatten their wallet, even if it means taking away from their creators. And with new competition like Kick, Rumble, and YouTube, each offering better alternatives, it's hard to understand why Twitch has yet to step up their game. Because in the past months, Kick has seen a tremendous increase in growth. They've been constantly stealing Twitch's top streamers by enticing them with better revenue splits, a more lenient terms of service, and a better support system for its creators. However, a pivotal moment arrived when XQC, Twitch's #1 streamer, decided to switch platforms. XQC's move to Kick wasn't just a regular platform switch, it was historical. On the 16th of June, XQC signed a $100 million deal to stream non-exclusively on Kick for 2 years. This marked the largest streaming contract ever signed. In fact, the deal was the 12th largest sports contract in history. But it doesn't stop at XQC's deal, as Amaranth and Aiden Ross have also signed 2-year contracts, reportedly worth $30 million each. Rumors are also swirling about Kick courting MrBeast as well. These big decisions have led to an approximate 40% increase in Kick's average monthly viewers, and an astonishing 251% increase in active channels. Kick is obviously making waves, but how exactly can Kick compete with Twitch? Kick operates and appears precisely like Twitch. The only exception is that Kick is a much more relaxed streaming platform. Twitch is arguably the worst platform for free speech, but Kick will pretty much let any type of content go. Streamers can gamble and be free to say and do whatever they want without the worry about getting banned on Kick. However, the downside to this leniency is that it might make brands more cautious about partnering due to the potential for more controversial content. YouTube Live may also become a massive problem for Twitch. Despite its less than perfect user experience, inferior video quality compared to Twitch, cluttered UI, and an outdated discovery page, YouTube still holds substantial market share. It sees an estimated 122 million users each day, compared to Twitch's 31 million. On top of this, YouTube offers a 70-30 revenue split to all its creators, unlike Twitch, where only an exclusive group has access to a similar split. For the past decade, the streaming industry has yet to see much diversity. With platforms such as Mixer coming and going, Twitch has always been at the top. However, with new opportunities and better alternatives like Kick, YouTube, and Rumble, Twitch's dominance will slowly fade. And if they actually want to retain its position at the top, they need to revisit its policies and make a concerted effort to better cater to the needs of its creators, or else it may find itself being left behind for good.
Okay guys, there you have it. Twitch is dying. The whole situation is a complete joke. The world is a sick, messed up place full of messed up people doing messed up things, including governments, clearly social media, and you're falling into the trap. And those of you that have watched this video to this point, thank you very much. And I look forward to your actual comments in the comments section. Guys, please be as brutally honest about how you feel about what you've just watched as well. Because to me, I still feel sick in the stomach to this minute. Not knowing this for so long, and now I do, I'll never go back to Twitch again. At least Kick's honest about what they do. YouTube, honest about what they do. Rumble, honest about what they do. Twitch though? Twitch is an incessant, insidious pit of disgusting, sick, vile people and behaviour. And I just wish I'd done my homework earlier. Anyway guys, I'm CTT, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.